Hello there. This is just a small app I've built over the past 3 days. Thanks to some very nice people let me borrow their fancy iMac. And so yeah, I've been making iOS stuff for 3 days. And I decided to make a little Pokemon thing. As you can see, it's just a simple like three views going on here. And when I run it, eventually, it's a giant Pokedex for Pokemon up to Gen 6. So just right now, today I finished sorting by two different things. You can like sort by the National Dex, and it'll give you a list of all the Pokemon there are. A whole bunch. So like, Zygarde down here. When you click, it'll show the Sugimori art and some fancy numbers. Their types, and it will have their abilities and base stats, and sometime down the line, way long, would be like learn sets, what they learn when they level up. But yeah, see, look, Slurpuff or Edgeslash. Ooh. And this is all coming from a MySQL server I've put up on my Windows machine, which is like right next to my iMac here. So it's when it starts up, it's pulling up all of it's doing a giant MySQL query for whatever I decide to search for. Like that was National Dex, and here I can do alphabetical order, and there'll be everything in A through Z. And now the next steps would be to create a few more ways to search, like alphabetical, and then break it through like A through G, and then H through M, and things like that. Because scrolling through like 768 something some odd Pokemon, it's with all the different forms and whatever, but it can take some time. And by each like Kanto Pokedex, Johto, Sinnoh, Unova, yada yada yada, Kalos Mountain, Kalos Coastal, all that stuff. And then once you get in here, there actually be the ones that have Mega Evolutions will have a button down here on the bottom, so you can tap that and see their Mega Form and their base stats and their base stat totals and things like that. But as of right now, it's just pretty, you know, it connects to a server. I got some PHP to turn MySQL stuff into JSON, which if I can, yeah, so it looks like that. It's a lot of, and I've actually crafted the whole database myself in Microsoft Access, and then ported it over to Excel, and then to a CSV, and then into MySQL, because for some reason I decided to make it in Microsoft Access because it's a bit easier to enter data and whatnot. So yeah, then it goes all that. And yeah, that's not my first app, but my first one that actually does something. Like I have all these, I've made a calculator and some other stuff, but this is the one I wanted to build upon for now. Just as a bit of a showcase. But yep. And I'll try to do next big update I have with their make it look fancier with the grass, poison, like their types will actually have images instead of just text and look all fancy like they do in game and all that, and have a graph of their stats and whatnot. And oh, and another thing I want to sort by is egg group, because one of the things I want to end up doing with this is make a like a thing where you can breed Pokemon easier. And you know those little summary marking things, like when the dude in that Kilode City or Kiloud City, he tells you which IVs are perfect, and you'll be able to like easily go in and click those, so you don't have to remember them to tap them into your game. That's how this whole idea started. But first, you guys start with all the Pokemon, and then all this other nonsense, and it's quite a hassle with the database and everything like that. But alright, that's my first, well, my 3 days of making this app. Hopefully, it's not as horrible. I think it's pretty cool. And for like, it took me 2 hours. I was trying to, because when you have a view controller, like you press a button, you press this button, and it sends off this, little segue thing, and it passes a variable over here, and you pass this variable over here. And for the longest time, for like 2.5 hours, I couldn't get the buttons to like send over the appropriate variable. And then I was just getting fed up, about to go lay down. Then I finally like clicked this, and then noticed I didn't have a class selected. So it's like all the code and stuff I made just never even was executed, which made me feel stupid. But hey, it finally started working. And I mean, code's really nothing to look at. I mean, there's the segue thing, and this right here is where it's getting. This is how it sorts. When you click one of the buttons, it'll send over some data over here, sorting method, and it's alpha, and then right now I have National Dex, and then it calls a different PHP file that has a different MySQL query in it. So I figured that was the easiest way to get it. And don't worry, you can't get into this. Like, that's my local IP, so you pretty much can't get it unless you connect to my Wi-Fi or my wireless router, which I doubt you can. You better not. But yeah, there's that's all about I got to say for it. Hopefully my next update will be a lot cooler. Have some, hey Arcanine, have some better graphics and whatnot. But hey, not bad for 3 days of reading and doing YouTube tutorials and all that other nonsense. Alright, my next video will be the next like version 0.002 of my Pokemon thingy. Alright, hope you found this informative or whatever, or you like my prowess of app making and want to hire me, just send me an email. Haha. Alright, thanks a lot.